To say it has been a rough patch for public transport in Riga in recent years is quite the understatement. Scandals and slower modernizations are best describing the last decade for the tram system. But, luckily, there seems light on the end of the tunnel, and lots of work is happening right now. So let's explore Riga's tram system. This is Riga's tram network. The system uses a 1524mm gauge and is electrified by means of 600-volt DC overhead wires. The total length of the network is over 54 kilometers, and there are 2 active depots. The special characteristic of this tram system is that some lines could only be operated by trams with trolley poles, but more about that later. So, these are the lines that are operated nowadays. We start off with line 1, from Imanta to Jugla. Line 2, Central Tirgus to Tapeshu Ila. Line 5, Ilru Chems to Milgravis. Line 7, Ausekla Ila to Chengarax. Line 10, Central Tirgus to Brisumurja. And finally, line 11, Ausekla Ila to Mejaparks. And now let's see how the system came around. The tram system in Riga dates back to the 23rd of August 1882, with the opening of the first 3 horse-drawn tram lines. The founder of Riga's trams was the Consul General of Switzerland in St. Petersburg, Eugene Dupont. This guy happened to be an engineer as well. And less than 20 years later, in 1901, the first electric trams hit the streets of Riga. The network grew further, up until the First World War. In 1918, Latvia became an independent country, and the tram system came into ownership of Belgians for a while. Some extensions still occurred, but in 1931, the municipality took over control of the public transport in Riga. The Second World War destroyed big parts of Riga, but quite soon the tram system got rebuilt. Also, more extensions followed, as well as new tram types. A lot of these tram types were various locally produced trams by RVR, which was a big train factory in Riga. But also the famous Tatra T3 found its way to Riga in 1974. Up to the point that Latvia declared independence from the former USSR, nothing much more noteworthy happened. The 2000s and 2010s brought some route changes, closures, and most noteworthy, the Skoda 15Ts, as the first low-floor tram type in the fleet. But also, the 2010s were a period of major scandals within the public transport company, causing various arrests and eventually the mayor of Riga to resign. The bad situation and reputation of the company also caused projects, like a new tram line, to be shelved. Funds for this project were deferred to other projects, while Riga's tram network got stuck. The pandemic of the early 2020s also got bad consequences for public transport in Riga, with deteriorating passenger figures due to lockdowns, but most importantly for nowadays, a lack of drivers. This caused line 3, Chengarax to Jugla, and line 9, Chengarax to Aldaris, to be closed in 2021, which has reduced the number of tram lines to 6. Also, due to poor maintenance, an important viaduct had to be closed for a while, making line 11 disappear from the map for well over a year. It all seemed to be a negative spiral. But, luckily, in 2023, the situation seems to improve for the system. Lots of reconstruction works, improvement and upgrading is happening. Line 11 has been brought back as well. So let's hope this positive momentum continues and Riga's tram system starts to live up to its full potential. So I hope you enjoyed this video about the tram system of Riga so far. However, before we continue, I would like to ask you to leave a like to this video and subscribe to my channel. You will not miss any new video, and it will really help me as well. Thank you. Let's now take a look at the tram fleet of the Latvian capital. As I already said before, in Riga you can also find the legendary Tatra T3. More specifically, it is the subtype T3A. In Riga they are equipped with a trolley pole and mostly operate in pairs. Most often you can find the T3s on the lines 2, 5 and 10. but some runs on line 1 in peak hours could occur as well. The second type in the fleet are the T6B5s, also made by Tatra, and they are also equipped with trolley poles. In Riga there are two subtypes. One subtype is the T6B5SU, and the other is T3MR, which is also known as T6B5R. You can find these boxy trams mostly on line 7, but occasionally also on line 2 and perhaps even on line 1. And now we continue with the most modern type, the Skoda 15T, also known as 4City Alpha, which you might recognize from a video about the Prague tram system. The 15Ts have joined the fleet from 2010 and were the first tram type to be equipped with pantographs. This has caused them to be fixed to certain lines, where overhead wires have been adjusted. The Skoda 15T is the only low-floor tram in the city. Riga has both the 3 and 4 car version of this type. You'll mostly see them on line 1 and 11, as these are the only lines where the overhead wires have been adapted for pantographs so far. So as you see, the low-floor trams cannot be operated on the other lines, making the system fairly inaccessible for people with disabilities. This is a true flaw of this system, but steps to gradually improve it are on the way. You see, Riga is currently reconstructing quite some sections on its network to do exactly this. Line 7 is currently undergoing a major overhaul to become the next tramline where the 15Ts could potentially be deployed. Overhead wires are being adjusted, the tracks are renewed, the platforms are getting an upgrade. Very conveniently, this overhaul happens during the construction of Riga's new central station, Rail Baltica, making it an all-in-one project. There are also plans to extend line 7 further southeast to Višķu-Iela, where it can link up to the final stop of the trolleybus line, making the line even more useful. Besides the upgrade of line 7, also line 5 to Idhuchems is getting a refresh, making it also ready for low-floor trams. On top of that, the tram stop Națională Opera is receiving a proper platform now. Line 11 has finally reopened to Mežaparks in June this year, after being closed for a while due to Brasas Bridge being so poorly maintained. Now it is being reconstructed and the tram track was the first priority for its opening. All in all, gradually improvements are happening, and bit by bit the system becomes more modern, more accessible and hopefully also better used, allowing for also higher frequencies on certain lines, like line 2, 5 and 10. For this purpose, line 10 might also get another terminus by building a new extension to Žepněkance. After all the infrastructure upgrades are completed, you will have much more flexibility on the network. So you could for some frequencies use Tatra trams and for some Skoda 15Ts. This would ensure some level of accessibility on most of the network. Overall, you could deliver a higher quality project to all the people of Riga. For the rest of the future, I hope that the projects actually get built. Riga's public transport has suffered on the various corruption scandals. Now this is in the past. I hope that Riga's tram system will actually get its well overdue and deserved expansion and modernization, making it really fit for the future. And with that, we have reached the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed this video about the tram system of Riga. If you'd like to see more of my work in the future, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching.